Okay, so here we go to the main point of the video. But this video I'll be talking about a few sleep aids, well, 2 sleep aids, and my trouble sleeping. I've had trouble sleeping since I was a little kid. I can recall far back as me being 4 years old and staying up till about 2, 3 in the morning-ish. And the only reason I can even tell time at that age was because my parents had had cable and everything was digital. And, you know, I remember seeing the 2 and the AM when I would watch, you know, stay up late and watch TV. I would stay up late, watch like gymnastics and figure skating and stuff like that, and, you know, climb up on the counters and grab snacks. Been couch potatoing since I was 4. That's horrible. But yeah, my trouble sleeping, my insomnia really didn't become much of a problem until I got into middle school, more towards like 7th and 8th grade. And it became a problem. You know, you go to 3rd or 4th day with lack of sleep, whether, you know, little to no sleep, and, you know, you start struggling staying awake at school, or you're like really cranky, really groggy, and, you know, you snap really bad. Poor mom. Can you imagine what she had to go through? Hormonal teenager plus insomnia equals catastrophe. So my mom, you know, she took me to the family doctor. They did prescribe me prescription sleep aid, but I had bad experiences with it. It's just, I would have night terrors, or when I would fall asleep, it'd give me nightmares, and I couldn't wake up, so I'd be like screaming and stuff, and my mom would wake up. Or I would wake up crying from a bad nightmare. My mom would wake up, you know, in the middle of the night, check on me, see what's going on. And, well, initially, first reaction was, oh my god, she's possessed. There's a demon in her room. Shout out to all the people who ever experienced that. You know, you either you have insomnia or you have a bad dream or something, you know, some illness. And the first reaction is, bust out the Bible, bust out the holy water, bust out the raw egg, and the sage. I mean, if you have that kind of parent, you know, mom or what have you, grandma, tia, I feel, yeah, I've been there. But, I mean, after, you know, a while, I, you know, kind of figured out on my own, hey, it's the medication, don't want to take it, it feels yucky, and my mom actually resorted then after, you know, me patiently, calmly trying to explain that, Mom, it's the medicine. There's no juju in my room. It's totally the medicine that the doctor gave me. We ended up resorting to using NyQuil together with Sleepy Time tea. Now, before anybody gets after me, I understand that it's actually kind of taboo to mix medication with herbal teas and stuff like that. Granted, my mom was like, anything to get this child to sleep and not wake me up in the middle of the night. So that's what we did. It pretty much worked. However, there was a downside to that. Kind of shot myself in the foot, because taking NyQuil, when it's intended to help your cold symptoms, it lost its effect for when I actually did get sick and get a cold, or, you know, what have you. You know, it didn't have that same effect as far as controlling my symptoms. So that was a bummer. Years down the road, you know, we have great non-habit forming breakthroughs, I guess, in medication, like Unisom. So this is what I would typically use. You know, once it came out, me being, you know, in college, working, this is what I had used. I have a thing, because of past experiences, about taking pills, so this was actually really nice. You know, before I started using this, I found some melatonin strips. They were kind of like those mint strips that you place on your tongue and then they kind of dissolve. Yeah, I tried using those, but I didn't like the weird film taste that it left after, and it wasn't really that effective. But when these came along, and they're tiny little cherry flavored quick melts, I was like, yay, this will work. I think I can handle this, especially because I like having the control of being able to like break it in half. I have a little pill cutter that I can just cut them in half, and if I only have 4 hours to sleep before I have to wake up, I can take half and feel okay. 5 to 6 hours, take half, feel okay. Don't need to worry about waking up feeling overly groggy. And I say overly because sometimes I do wake up feeling kind of heavy. I feel like it takes quite a bit of effort to breathe and to move in the morning. One thing for sure, I definitely need to have a full 8 hours window if I take a whole one, because I will admit that when I wake up, I am not fully there. I need like a full cup of coffee or coffee shake before I can like really wake up. So I was very curious when Influenster sent me a little sample of ZzzQuil. Now ZzzQuil is by the makers of NyQuil, which, as I mentioned, I used to take NyQuil to go to sleep. So I was actually kind of curious about taking it. I was kind of hoping that I would get the liquid, like a small liquid trial of it, because I like having control of how much I can take. But I got the little gel caps instead. Hey, it was free. It was a nice complimentary trial, so I'm not going to complain too much. It's kind of the same concept, non-habit forming, says right there, so that's good. It's the same active ingredients. It's just produced differently and it releases differently, so it's kind of curious to see how it works for me. Now, what I will say, I mean, it's not that much of a negative deal because I do like to browse on my phone before I go to sleep. I'm guilty. This kicks in a lot quicker. Hands down. I think it's probably the way it releases into the body that makes the difference. This definitely releases a lot quicker. But this also kind of wears out a little quicker, I think. There have been a few times where I do wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, what was the point in taking a sleep aid if I wake up again? And when you suffer from insomnia or you deal with some kind of, sleeplessness, more often than not, you tend to be a light sleeper as well. So any little noise will kind of wake you up. And sometimes there'll be a night where, without fail, the refrigerator will wake me up when, the ice thing, yeah, well, whatever. So that's kind of a downfall with this. With this, I fell asleep like a rock. I took both pills the night before last, and that's one thing I noticed for sure, hands down. It didn't kick in as quick, but I was definitely in a very nice, deep, restful sleep. So that was really nice. So when I woke up, I didn't really feel that grogginess, that heaviness. I got up and I was good to go. I got up, made my morning shake, just fine, and I was up and running. I'm not too sure why I didn't do this sooner. It's not really that complicated of a review. I mean, the information on it comes in this itty bitty little card that, Influencer was kind enough to provide. It's pretty much the same thing, front and back. It's not that much different from Unisom. They both pretty much... Oh, my little reflective mirrors are falling. They pretty much do the same thing. I think... If I'm like up working really late on, let's say, a homework assignment or a project, and I only have about 4 hours to sleep, just because they're in pill form and I don't have that much control over how much I can take other than just taking 1 pill versus 2, I think I would probably go with this because I can cut it in half and I know that it wears off a little quicker than this, or at least I feel like it does because of, I've used this for quite a while, so I'm already familiar with how this works. I'd probably be more comfortable taking this if that's the situation. Now, if I know I'm going to have a really good chunk of time to sleep, definitely would go with this because it made me feel a lot more rested. So that's my review on it. Not a spectacular, fun, entertaining review, at least I don't know if it was, but that was my honest opinion of it nonetheless. I don't know how you guys feel about advertising and commercials, especially when they pop up all the time. You can be web browsing and there'll be a pop-up advertisement playing on its own somewhere, ruining your experience. or you're here on YouTube and all of a sudden there's a commercial and you're like, really, I just want to get to the video that I clicked on, thank you. Or, you know, you're watching TV and of course, you know, all these crazy commercials coming up talking about how great something works, and then you're like, really? Because that's what you guys said about the last product and it was At least that's been my experience. But yeah, this is my God honest opinion. Not being biased in any way. Like I said, there's pros and cons to both. But I mean, hey, see for yourself. If you don't want to go, I ended up buying this, just to be honest, because like I said, I did like that I felt deep asleep, but it won't be my go-to all the time. That I'll tell you, it won't be my go-to all the time, but I knew it was worth having, you know, put up in the rest of my arsenal of stuff to help me sleep. If you don't want to buy it, go ahead and check out and sign up for Influenster. Maybe they'll do another one of, you know, the same product. Maybe not. But hey, check it out anyway, because it's actually pretty cool. You know, you can qualify to get different Vox boxes and different trial stuff. You can get to try, you know, if you haven't tried it before, or you want to try a different version or whatnot. I mean, it's free. You can't go wrong. I mean, the most you have to do is commit a little bit of your time, maybe every now and then, and enjoy free samples. Me, I do it mainly because I enjoy writing reviews. This is probably the first video that I take seriously and talk to people with. There's been like only 1 or 2 other videos, some that I've deleted because I was a freshman in high school and completely bonkers, and another one because it was a fun memory. But this is probably one of the first ones that I take semi-seriously. I say semi because I'm not really using any pro editing program. I'm not using fancy camera techniques because, like I said, I am a weeboo nooblet, and simplicity is just what I aim for. Thanks for watching and stomaching this horrendously long review. I say horrendously long, and I'm pretty sure there's a few people who can gab on a little more or use flowery language, or they really do go on for hours about things. But like I said, really simple, straightforward, honest review on the both. And, you know, try them out if you like, or if you've been looking into it and you're kind of skeptical or you're concerned about taking certain stuff because you have the same hesitations that I do, then, you know, I say, you know, go for it. I didn't experience anything too crazy or crazy at all really with them, so, you know, go for it, save it. Or, you know, if you completely disagree with me and you're like, that stuff doesn't work, you know what, comment below. That's what that's for. Go ahead, talk to me. And if you want to troll, go ahead. Give me some entertainment. Troll away. And if you have any other, like, homeopathic remedies that you know for sure are foolproof and they work really well, or at least they work well for you, you know, share with us. Share with us all, because we would like to know. Thank you. Have a swell day, night, afternoon. You know what? In the famous words of Onision, you just keep being you, because we are all too wonderful to be Buffalo Billed by society and confined to their crazy expectations. Have fun. You only live once. Totally cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. Until next time.